Well, Brooks, I really appreciate you joining me today on this webinar and taking some time out of your day to talk to me.
But
Brooks is, just so everybody knows, is a newer agent with Insurance Professionals of Arizona. And give us a little bit of your background, Brooks, what you did before insurance, because you're new to not only to IPA but to insurance.
yeah, so I've been in sales for my whole professional career. Was with University of Phoenix for about 11 years, and when that kind of went south with everything that happened with the restrictions and with higher education, I was part of a reduction in force and found myself in a new situation with a commission-based job. I went to the National Academy of Sports Medicine, which does a lot of work with personal trainers. We sell the educational packages for them, and so I did that for about 5 years after the University of Phoenix, and really found that I enjoyed what I did there, enjoyed the fitness community and industry there, but got to a point to where I hit my ceiling and needed to find something else, and wasn't sure what that was. But I had a good friend that is a sales leader with State Farm, and kind of talked to me a little bit about the insurance game, probably about halfway through that 5-year tenure with NASM, and just talked to me about what it would be like being in insurance, and kind of something that rang a chord with me, but wasn't ready to make that jump yet. And so found myself still with NASM and trying to pursue that and seeing where I could go there. But again, I hit that ceiling, and after about 2 years of my friend initially talking with me about State Farm, I actually reached back out to him and asked him again about it, and kind of sought out what it would be like to be in insurance, and was ready to give that a go. So that's kind of what got me the jump start into getting into the industry.
And if I remember correctly, by all accounts, and especially I'm not asking you to talk about your income, that's a personal thing, but you did mention to me what you were making at your previous job, which was a pretty comfortable living. So
Yeah.
When you say you hit a ceiling, what do you mean by that? In your previous career, you hit a ceiling.
You hit a ceiling as far as where I could go with upward momentum, any progression, whether it be into management, different departments. It was a smaller company as far as what we ran monetarily, and what we brought in on an annual basis was very healthy. But as far as any upward progression, any direction that way, it was cut out. So the ceiling was there. So I wasn't able to go anywhere else, and I wasn't feeling satisfied in my current role. Income was good. It was comfortable. But I wanted more. I wanted to do more, wanted to be more. And it got to the point to where to make the same salary year after year, I had to put in more time, and it got to be at least a 12 to 14-hour day every day to make the same or less. So
that's a long day. So specifically, what attracted you to the insurance field?
When I spoke with my friend, he talked to me a lot about what you do for people and reaching out to people. One of the things that I've always enjoyed about sales is connection with clients, customers, and building that relationship and finding out what their needs are and building a plan for them based around their needs. And so when I talked to him, he talked to me specifically about what that looks like and how you find out what they need and how to protect them from something should, an occurrence or something happen in their life. And so I really was attracted to that, and was attracted to that relationship. And we talked obviously about income and the potential there, and that was something that was attracting to me as well. I knew that it was going to take a while to build up to anything of that nature, but I really wanted to get into the industry to really help people and give them something that they could feel comfortable with, and something that when I go to bed at night, I know I can sleep well.
That's awesome. I mean, that's a big leap of faith to just change careers like that with having the family that you have and everything like that. So I commend you for your courage there. So in your search of deciding who you were going to go with when you jumped from the career to the insurance field, how did you choose Insurance Professionals of Arizona?
Well, how the process really went is again, I was looking into State Farm, and I was looking to go captive, and I wanted to go into that. I liked the brand. I liked what it stood for. But when I was going through there, I didn't necessarily get that feeling of this is where I should be. Because the more I looked into it, the more I found out what it was about being a captive agent, not just State Farm. The more I learned about it, it was all about representing the company and not about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to be for my clients and customers. It was about hitting their goals and reaching what they're wanting. And so when I realized that and found that it wasn't where I wanted to be, but I still wanted to be in insurance, because I went through and I was already licensed before I met you, Kent, if you remember. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to be in insurance. That was my goal, my passion, my dream, is kind of what I'd realized. And so when it came to a point of, again, I didn't want to go captive, I looked around at what were my options and what could I do. And for me, it was a lot of faith. I followed kind of that gut instinct, inner voice, heavenly direction, however you want to, take it. And I reached out to someone that was actually involved with IPA. And that was on a Wednesday. And he said, yeah, why don't you come in and meet with our principal agent, who is obviously you, Kent. And we got together. I went in there and met on Friday and just had a great experience. Had a great conversation with you, talked about different options and things that we might be able to look into for me to just get my foot in the door into insurance. And when it came down to it, my wife and I talked about it over the weekend of what we could do. And then on Monday, when we talked again, just felt that this was the place that I needed to be. Everything that you presented to me, the way that you talked about the support that could be offered, and the agency that you built, it just was a great fit. It was the perfect fit for me and for my family and for the direction that we wanted to go and who we wanted to be as far as professionally and working within the insurance industry.
Awesome. And so what's been your experience since you've been here at Insurance Professionals of Arizona? Nothing but positive.
I've had more support than I could have asked for. Everybody's just a phone call away. It's a great team. I know we're all individual, independent agents, but when it comes down to it, we're a great team. There hasn't been anybody that I've had to reach out to or had a question to ask to that hasn't been willing to sit on the phone with me for a few minutes, whether it's running through a quote, answering a question about a claim, how to process anything. Everybody's been terrific, whether it's a phone call, a text, an email. It's been all that I could ask for and more.
Let's talk a bit about what options you found that you have to offer your clients through IPA, like the carrier selection that you have.
Yeah, there's really the options are almost endless. We have obviously our main selection that we can go to, but when you're looking at commercial, I just find when I reach out to Michelle Armillo, I find that there's a new option each time. She's like, oh, well, we could place them here. We could look here. There's a place for everyone. I haven't had any issues in looking out and finding somewhere that I could work with someone and find a good place for them to fit. And everybody's been really happy with what I've been able to come back and give to them.
What would you say to somebody who is thinking about maybe leaving a captive situation with State Farm or whoever, American Family, Allstate, one of those captive carriers, and thinking about going independent? Why would they want to join our team? What do we do that you think really sticks out?
I think there's a lot more opportunity, a lot more chance to be who you want to be professionally. You don't have to fit into a specific mold. You can make and grow your business how you want to grow it. You can do as much as you want. And really, there is no ceiling. There's no limit to it. There's only support as far as everything that I've seen. When I was looking and planning on going captive, I saw a lot of, I have to be this way and do this thing. And if I do that, then I'll be happy. But if I try and do it this way and kind of go outside of the box and my thinking's a little bit different, I'm stuck over here. And that I wouldn't be able to get to the point to where I was able to maybe have this, but also have this. I think that's what IPA and being an independent agent really brings to the table is allowing you to be the best you that you can be as an agent, professionally, personally, because you're building that around you. You're building your agency around who you want to be. And, as far as where you come into that, Kent, you have been willing to reach out to me. You've been willing to take time out of your day to talk to me. When I was struggling, I was saying, hey, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm a little down. It's been a little while since I've, been able to bring somebody new in. You say, hey, it's okay. You're there to support and you're there to really encourage. And so I think as far as that goes with being a leader and a principal agent, it helps me to know that I'm on the right track, that there's people there that are going to support me and I can build this how I need to. And I don't have to worry about not fitting that specific mold.
Yeah, I appreciate that. In fact, I couldn't be happier that you landed at Insurance Professionals of Arizona. I think your career is just going to explode. Being an insurance agent starts off slow, and then usually if you just keep working and working, you'll see some exponential growth at some point. And I have no doubt that you're going to see that happen. What are the top 5 companies that you work with right now within IP? I mean, we have, like you said, almost, it seems like at times, unlimited companies that we can work with. But what are the top 5 or 6 maybe even that you work with now?
Yeah, I work a lot with Travelers. Progressive has been right up there. Selective is another one I've had a lot of success with. Let's see here.
I know you were particularly excited about auto owners.
Yes, very excited about auto owners. I'm still working to find that perfect client. Unfortunately, I've had some clients that would be a great fit for them, but they've had a claim or two and it just automatically kicks them out. So we're definitely excited about auto owners and finding that right client there. So I'm trying to find that one to build into that great pipeline that's already been built by all the agents here at IPA. So props and kudos to them for being able to get that started off. It looks like it's going to be a great partnership. So let's see here, Travelers, Selective, Progressive. I've had good luck with commercial with National General, with commercial auto, placing people there. Pekin for landlord and dwelling fire. And then let's see here. Let me pull up my sheet and we'll take a look at some of the others that I've had some good success with.
So just
Safeco is another one.
Yeah, they're a really strong carrier too. So what is your main, just out of curiosity, what is your main, when you place a client with a carrier, what is your main thing that you're focused on? How do you choose your carrier?
I look a lot about kind of the reputation of the carriers that we're working with and who I feel comfortable putting them with and what I know about that carrier. But also I talk to them to find out what's important. Are they looking for just best price? Are they looking for best coverage? Are they looking for best financial stability? And I found that there's only been a few clients that have really been picky about who they're placed with. And then most of them are, find me that comparable coverage, if not a little better, and I want a good premium. And so when I break it down, I don't always want to put them in the cheapest because that's not necessarily the best for them. So I look at what I can do as far as giving them a coverage that I would feel comfortable with for myself and then presenting it to them and say, this is what I'm going to present to you, where I would feel best for you as an agent, going to bed at night knowing that I've taken care of you. And then making sure that I present that to them. Hey, are there any changes that you want to go with? And if they don't like that carrier, we go back to the drawing board and start over and find somebody else for them to go with. So it's not just about that communication and finding out what they want, what they need, and then going from there.
Yeah, and that's the greatest part about being a broker, because I was a former captive agent, I think, as you know, and only having that one option sometimes was difficult, especially in the back of your mind when you maybe knew that it wasn't the best option. It was the best that you could offer because it was the only option, but you knew kind of, hey, there might be a better option out there for you, client, but now I have no doubt, I have every confidence that I can offer the best option every time in every situation for every client that's out there. I mean, there's very few carriers that are really good in the marketplace that we don't work with. And so the selection is really what sets us apart. What would you say to anybody, either a captive agent or another independent agent that might even want to change to a different independent agency, why they might want to consider joining us here at Insurance Professionals of Arizona?
Yeah, it really comes down to the network that's in Insurance Professionals of Arizona, what you have to offer, and what you bring to the table, that you're always going to bat for us. You've fought long and hard to build that partnership with auto owners. And to me, that's something that says a lot about you, that you are looking out for us as the agents and trying to get us the tools that are going to help us to be successful, to help yourself be successful. And you're always communicating with us, giving us opportunities to learn. We have the webinars each week that we're able to be a part of, that helps us to be familiar with the carriers, with our contact points there, so we know who to go to, who to connect with. And so you're never in the dark trying to figure out what you need to be doing. I've never felt alone in the process. Even though I work out of my home office, I've never felt like I was disconnected from anybody. And I think that that's something that says a lot about what you've built and what the team has been able to do as far as rallying around together and really making it something where I want to be, and I think really anybody would want to be here with us. It's a terrific organization and a great agency to be a part of.
Well, I appreciate that. And really it's all of us have built it together, because there's no way I could have done this alone. I just wouldn't be able to sustain the carriers that we have. We have, quite a few of them now, and me with just kind of my in-house team would never have been able to support that. So it's really a collective effort with great individuals like yourself that love the business, that want to help people. And I told you this before, if we could clone you and make 50 of you, we'd be in great shape, because I think you're doing it the right way and exactly the way it should be done. Educate people, let them know about their choices and their selection, finding the best coverage for them. Not always about price, even though we can be very competitive with all the carriers that we have, but not being focused on price all the time and trying to teach people about value. So, Brooks, I really look forward to watching your career continue to blossom. You're off to a great start. You're into it, about 4 months now?
Yeah, about that.
So I think you have a very bright future ahead of you, and we look forward to working with you and watching you continue to grow.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure working with you. I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to be part of the team, and look forward to what the future brings as well. So thank you, Kent.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll talk to you soon.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, Brooks. Take care.
You too.